tune in if you want to hear. So we have Chad, Josh, Dmitri, and Marcus every Friday.
It's the Square Round Table.
Tune in.
It's the Square Round Table podcast. Let's have a blast. I know at work you had a long day. Just relax and tune in.
All right. Welcome back, my freaks and geeks. This is another review day. We're reviewing, as you can see in the background, mine's backwards, but that's just because the camera angles was pretty bad before, so I had to flip it around. But Transformers Rise of the Beast. Yeah. What do you want to start with this review? Do you want to start at the beginning, or do you want to start off with like all the little Easter eggs? Do you want to give like a rundown of the beat?
First off, I want to just make a shout out. Like Dmitri said, we're reviewing Transformers Rise of the Beast, which is a follow up to the Bumblebee movie, which I love. So I was already sold even before they made it. But it's definitely a sequel to that movie, which took place in the 80s. And this movie is taking place like
94.
About I think
7 years. I think like
7 years.
7
years
like
after
that.
the first one. So it's like it's a direct sequel. And it was directed by Stephen Caple Jr., which is a black director. It's cool to see one of us directing a Transformers movie, and definitely could tell that he was a fan and he had great respect for the lore and stuff because he really paid attention to little small details, and even like the way he set up the Mazin scene with the whole 90s aesthetic of hip hop and the culture, especially up in New York. With the main character who was, I think, was Latino. He showed that culture. And the way he set up the stories and stuff, he didn't focus on something too long. It wasn't a whole big plot thing where it was just like so serious and complicated and it had to go to this and that. And they didn't sit down and take 45 minutes to explain it. It was straight to the point. So just want to give a shout out to him. And I hope we get to see more of his work. He did his thing.
He killed it. He killed the whole thing. Yeah. Like you said, we didn't get like a full detailed 45-minute intro. Like we didn't get no Sandwich Wiki backstory. It wasn't like that. And I said this to you off the podcast, but I'll say it here. I'm like, it took Michael Bay like 4 or 5 movies to not even get it right, but this dude came in and got the whole vibe of Transformers and dropped a G.I. Joe thing in the same movie and just killed it, just laid it out on the table, said, do what you want with it.
Bro, dude, he was coming in with that heat, man.
He was.
Coming in with that heat.
And the designs of all the characters, like I was like surprised by Pete Davidson, like his character.
Man.
Mirage.
The whole voice cast, the voice actors in this movie, everybody did really good. But Pete Davidson was definitely the standout. As Mirage, like he was definitely the standout out of all of the Autobots. Really, all of the characters.
He like played that like Bumblebee kind of role. Bumblebee's like the human, not human companion. I guess not human companion, but like he goes along with the main character or whatever like that. And they did a really good job of not making him just enough character that where it wasn't overbearing at all. Like it was just like just the right amount of just personality where he didn't overshadow anybody. And then Optimus Prime's, this is pre-Michael Bay. I'm saying it now. This is a split timeline. We're a divergent timeline because this is not. He's not with the humans right now.
Yeah,
he was like, man, forget these humans. I'm trying to get off this planet. I've been here for 7 years, man. Forget these humans.
I'm trying to go home, bro.
I don't trust these humans. I'm getting out of here.
I ain't studying that save the human race stuff. Like, I'm gonna get out of here, and then y'all got it from there. He was getting cleaned up. He was cleaning the floor with Optimus.
Man, he got iced up by Scourge. Scourge was icing his ass up. He was like, I was like, damn, Optimus, where them hands at? You always be talking about these, you give me speeches out there going to battle, and you can't got the hands. I think Optimus Primal gonna have to come in there and teach you a couple tricks because he had to teach him about humans, and that was a good thing. I liked the Primal and all the Maximuses and Predacons and stuff like that. All the references those. And they did a Unicron. Like I was surprised that they were going to do him. Like I was
he looked great.
He did.
He looked great.
I was very surprised by them being able to do it and make it look good. And then the battle scenes were great. The
Yeah.
Transformer, which I think, even if we're gonna compare it to the Bayverse, I'd say that the action scenes have always been some of the reasons why you watch Transformers in the first place. You're going in with
That big battle scene.
that big battle scene, but these ones just seemed like there was just so much at stake for a lot of them. Like every scene seemed like it was vital. There wasn't just like a fight scene just to have a fight scene. You know what I mean? So I thought that was good. I love the big ending scroll where they all transform. We got our Beast Transformers transforming and maximizing and stuff, and that was really
Mhm.
freaking cool. The
Mhm.
CGI looked amazing on that. Like it looked really fucking good.
And
I like I liked the main characters, the girl and the main guy, and his brother was cool too.
yeah.
So I think they did a really good job with the casting. I think they voice acted like you said, and then all the characters that were in the movie there weren't any useless characters. Everybody had like their own like purpose, their own role, what they did there and stuff like that. It wasn't
Mhm.
just somebody there just to be like, what do you want to call it? Not an Easter egg, but like just to get the people to be all like, oh yeah, I saw him here, and then he just goes away. You know what I mean? It's not like
Mhm.
I forget the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. There was everybody had their own like role and purpose, and there wasn't anybody that was like just sitting there, just standing sometimes, or you know what I mean, like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't any, as I said, like a ball joke reference. There wasn't like
Yeah. I'll say this. I like how the human characters weren't looked at as like being dumbfound. Like they
mhm,
they weren't helpful in like the whole process of getting to the mission. Like this time, the human characters were very involved and had a very vital part in assisting the Autobots in whatever they were trying to do. And even at the same time, they was like, "Hey, man, we need to save our world. Forget
yep,
about them because they don't even care about us because they just trying to use us so they can get home and it's gonna destroy us." I like how the characters they had personality and you cared about what they did and what happened because you
yeah,
had the girl who Dominique played. She was smart. She was like on the independent. She was an archaeologist. So she was already in the zone where she's somebody who can figure things out because that's a part of her and what she's doing. And
yeah.
then you had the other guy, the male main character. I don't know why I can't never remember people's names, but I'm bad with remembering like the characters' names unless I've seen it like 100 times.
yeah,
But you had him who had his whole story where it was him, his mom, and his brother was sick, so he trying to get a job to provide for his family and stuff. And they gave the hint that he was in the army. So there goes that background of what kind of personality he has and where he's coming from and what he's trying to do. And that plays a lot in what kind of, you know, story lays out for him, that hero's journey, because he's in the army. It's brought up a couple times when he was trying to get a job, and then it's brought up again when he meets the Transformers and stuff. So it's like it comes back in full circle in the end because that's what gets him to catch the eye of the GI Joe who's just trying to start up. A lot of things connect, even with Dominique character. Hers comes back full circle, and she was an intern, but now she's the one on 60 Minutes doing the interviews and stuff. So she getting the spotlight. So all of these characters came back around in full circle. And I love how they didn't have to just randomly make them a couple because they went on a mission and fought with robots and almost died. Like it doesn't
yeah.
have to happen that way. So I really love how the human characters felt just as important as the alien sentient beings or whatever they want
Alien,
to call
yeah,
them. Because at the end of the day, they robots, but they are aliens. But
robot aliens.
yeah, so I really appreciated how they focused on that and how they pushed. Like we said, they didn't stay too long on something. It was, hey, this is the key. We need the other half to do so and so. This is where it is. Oh, we didn't find it, but it might be here. The villains are coming in. Boom, boom. There goes the conflict. B dies, and that's Optimus's thing. And then I love how they use Optimus. And let me look at his name in the movie because I hate to keep saying it, and then I don't know. I keep saying that guy, and then people say, "Oh, you don't
Who's
know
that
his name.
guy?
Who's that guy?"
Who are you talking
Uh,
about?
let me see, what was his name in the movie?
But the thing that like I say, one thing I like about this universe, besides in comparison with the older verse of Transformers, is like in the older versions, like you said, like you were saying, is the opposite of what you were saying. Is that all of the human characters had way more like their importance was heavier in the story than the Transformers. Like in a lot of the movies, like you saw, how do I say it? You saw with Sam Witwicky, his whole family line was way more important and stuff like that, and all the human characters were had more screen time than the Transformers at some points in time. But in this one, they had an equal share of human and Transformer moments.
Yeah. And like I was saying with is Noah. That's what it was. I can't remember.
No,
He's fighting. He's going through this to fight for his brother because he's looking out for his brother. He's a big brother.
yeah,
And when Mirage told him, he was like, Optimus is just doing the same thing you doing for your brother. He looking out for his brothers, his family. So he trying to take care of us. That's all. He said that's why he's like that. Don't be too hard on him. Because, of course, he was like, I ain't messing with him because he all salty about us. So I'm feeling the same way. But when they made that connection, he understood what he was putting on the line. And I love how when they had that conversation, it was, I get it, bro. Like the head nod, like, yeah.
like I
So
understand.
I love how they drew that in and how they didn't just automatically make Optimus just agree to be like, yeah, I'm gonna save the humans. It was all planned out, and it took the time to lead it up to that moment. The build up. They did a good build up of it instead of
They
just
did.
being like, save the humans now because you a good guy. Like good
Good.
guys don't always have the motive to save people. Sometimes they're selfish and they want to take care of themselves or
Yeah,
the people around them because everybody has to have that moment to push them to think about humanity. It was the same way with Matt Reeves' Batman. He was just all about vengeance and trying to get revenge and make people pay like the people that killed his parents. But by the end, he realized it's a city he has to save and he has to care about the people in it because they need that light of hope, somebody to look to know that they're safe. So that's the kind of moments that you got to put in there, and not to hate on the Michael Bay movies because I love like the actual first, the
I like the
2007
first
one,
one. Yeah,
and
the
then the second one
2007
was good, but then it was like big explosions, gunfights, CGI, and
innuendos.
no story. Like no story. It was like a little bit of story in there, but it was like, no, look at the new Transformer that we got, or
Yeah, look
look
at
at
the
this guy.
dinosaur. Look at the three-headed
Yeah.
dragon. Look, oh wait, the Transformers were in World War II,
Chilling
fighting
with
against the
Harriet
Hitlers
Tubman and
and fighting
Frederick
against the
Douglass.
yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Okay, whatever. But that's besides the point. But like I talked with Chad. The Transformers was scaled down a little bit. They
Hmm.
didn't feel like some big kaiju looking characters that just was like, oh my god. Because if you see something that big, you'll freak out. Like he still freaked out, but it wasn't as bad because it's okay. This ain't a like Godzilla like towering being looking down
Yeah.
at me or something. Like I like how they scaled it down in the G1 models of the Transformers, how they transform was real smooth and stuff and sleek. I appreciate it like how they did this, and it kept that same feel of like all the Transformers movies, but it took a more insight on telling the story from both points of view. That was my take on it. That's what I enjoyed about it.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed a lot of the things that you enjoyed. This modeling down was good and it worked because they're big, but they're not like towering over big parts of the city big. You know what I'm saying? Like they're bigger than humans, but they're cars at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
cars are big, but they're not that big. So it was really
Yeah.
good to see that. And even like the animal transformers were scaled down a little bit too.
Hmm.
Like, but I liked to go back to your point about the what was it? The fact that Optimus wasn't like ready to help humans like right off. I love that like they brought in Primal
Hmm.
to be that like person. Hey, I've lived here for
And they're all
so
right.
many counts of years,
Yeah.
and they protected me. They looked out for me. They've done this. He's patting the resume of a human. He's like, hey,
Mhm.
there's some good ones out here. And I love how they flipped the saying of they're more than meets the eye. They like flipped it up for the humans on this case. Like they were like,
Mhm.
instead of it being like the Transformers, which that's their thing is more than
Yeah,
meets the
more
eye,
than meets
So
the
I
eye.
love that they
Yeah.
do that on the humans, is to give it to Optimus, to give it back to them. Hey, there's more to them than what on the outside. And that's what one thing I liked about it. And it was, I wouldn't even say an origin story for Optimus. It was like his like hero story.
Yeah, his coming
You
of
know,
age, like that moment where he became aware that, hey, it's more than just fighting off the Decepticons, and like it's more than that. It's actually people that's in harm's way and on this planet that we are starting a mini war on. They have lives too, just like we did back on Cybertron. So it's like that comparison of why lose a world like ours. You don't want to see the same thing happen because it's like it's replaying in your mind. It almost gives you. It's almost like that like becoming Pinocchio becomes a real boy, or when a character gets a heart that had a
yeah,
cold black heart. It's like it gives you that human, that like human feel, like okay, that humanity. That's what it is. It gives you more of it like a humanity thing, even though you're
yeah,
not considered human, and it makes people who are watching feel and connect more with you. It's just not a pile of bolts and screws that transform into a robot. It's actually something in there that cares, want to fight for what they believe in. But that just leads up to the battle. Even at the
yeah,
end, how the humans were assisting them in that. They was like, hey, look, y'all can't do this, so we're gonna help y'all do that. And that's what I say about when they were a vital part in every like single thing they did in battle, even to Noah actually helping in the battle when Raj went down, and he was like, hey man, I need you to carry it on. Like, I'm gonna give you my last leg. Like literally, I'm gonna give you my last leg, and I need you to go on and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's,
exactly. You get this work. You
yeah,
know,
like go ahead and tear them up. It's definitely a big ups for the human counterparts in
I
this saga,
agree.
and that's even with Bumblebee.
Yeah,
Like in Bumblebee, it was the same thing. It was more of a human, and like with ET. ET came here, he connected with some of the humans that were good, and that's how he gained trust of them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get that connection type thing, and you got to build that story. If you're gonna have it the way that you want it to be, where it's humans and robots fighting along each other, you got to build some kind of relationship. So it could feel natural that they're fighting amongst each other. Instead of
yeah.
just, oh, we're all war heroes and let's just fight and all that. Sometimes we like a good little emotional story. It ain't always got to be explosions.
It doesn't always got to be. Like one thing I always say is like, you don't have to have something explode by me to make me like be hyped about it, man.
Hmm.
I love the fact that in the end, Optimus was like, I'm gonna sacrifice. Being a leader, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the greater good of this planet.
Mm.
When he was gonna sacrifice himself to make sure that the gate went away so that the
Yep.
planet was safe. And then Noah came up and was like, "Nah, I got you, homie. We in this together."
We
And
got.
then Primal was like, "Together." He came out, and I was like, "Yes,
I like that's
this
how
is
you
great.
do it, man.
This is great." I liked it a lot, and I loved, like I say, I liked Unicron. Like I they didn't need to do any more with him. Like I was glad that he didn't like transform or anything like that.
Yeah, it was
I was like,
just
we
enough.
like just give us a planet
It
in
was
orbit and we're good.
it was like setting up the Emperor in Star Wars
Yeah,
when the Empire Strikes Back. You got a little taste of him. He was there, and then in Return of the Jedi, it was like this is the guy pulling the strings. This is how like evil and like how much control he has. Like you tease us with it a little bit, and then you bring it back to show the full power. And I like how they showed that they didn't defeat him. They just closed the gate to where he couldn't get in. So that means he's still there. You
he's
know what I'm
still
saying?
chilling. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's gonna
So
send some more acolytes or whatever,
exactly.
which I'm hoping they're gonna drop Megatron in the next one.
I
I think it's time for Megatron to at least
I
make an
think so
appearance.
because it's very smart how they've done it with this like reboot of it, because they didn't go with Megatron at first because they know everybody, that's what they expect because it's like
Yep,
the most prominent villain. But it's like, nah, let's build it up and let's use these other villains, and then let's build it up to Megatron, because even with this film, it's showing that this Optimus Prime is not on that level yet to even fight Megatron, because he's
he is
still
not.
trying to become a good leader. It's like now if they put Megatron in the next film, it's okay. Optimus had that moment where he kind of became a little bit of the Optimus that we knew with the Michael Bay films. So
Exactly.
now if he meets Megatron, it's okay. he's a little bit more prepared and he has a more tight knit connection with the group that he's with. And of course, we'll probably see more Autobots. I'm wondering if they're gonna bring back Primal and all them. That would be interesting. What they're gonna do with them.
Here's the thing. I got 2 points. Sorry.
No,
Say something.
that was
If
my
I
head.
don't say it now, I'm gonna forget it, and I don't want to forget it. We need, or sorry, I want Dino Megatron or Dragon Megatron so darn bad to be live action.
I remember Dino Megatron.
Yeah, or his dragon form later on he gets. Man, I want that just because we got Primal. Give me that. Just give me a little bit of that. Just a taste. I don't need to see him whole movie. He can throw into his car form towards the end of the movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
Little taste. And two, the good thing about bringing Megatron in later is that we understand people that one that are fans and two that aren't fans now they know that there are other enemies out there that are just as or more or greater threats as Megatron. Like Unicron is way bigger of a threat than Megatron will ever be. But Megatron he's no slouch either. You know,
I was gonna say Megatron ain't no villain of the week now.
Even what's his name? Was it Scourge? Yeah, Scourge wasn't a villain of the week.
Scourge
he came
was
in.
Good.
He had the patches on. I was like, okay.
Scourge was good, and Peter Dinklage did a great job.
He did do a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job.
I was happy with all of the I guess they're not Decepticons. What are they called? What were they called? They're called Terracons.
Terracons, yeah.
I think they were called Terracons. I was happy with each and every one of them. Now, if we get some Predacons next movie, I'll be a happy boy.
Oh yeah,
I'll be happy man. Get a little bit of Decepticons in there, and a little Autobot, and
get them Predacons.
Man, after seeing them, give me a Beast Wars movie right now.
I know, in my life.
Or remaster the
show,
original series.
Yeah,
give me a
man. Like you said,
version.
bro, when they transformed, I was in the theater like a little kid because somebody who had the toys back then. And when I seen the cheetah transform, I was like, oh, I had that toy. I was like, and the people I went to see it with, they were a little bit younger than me. So they didn't get the moment. They was like, oh, it's like, what is it? I was like, y'all don't get it. They transformed just like they did in the show. This is like an iconic moment right here.
Yes.
It's like when you see Batman put on the bat suit for the first time, or when you seen Iron Man suit up for the first time, or the Hulk out. Those moments are like cherished because you thought you'll never see it.
And I was waiting on a movie. I was like, are they going to the Predator, Primal, the Maximus is going to transform? He said, maximize. I was like, yes.
It was perfect.
That was like Captain America said, what did he say? Avengers Assemble. Same thing. Because and I'm going to sit here and start nerding out a bit because that last action scene was so good when they had Optimus Prime and Primal fight over the enemies. They were like, oh, that's mine. And I was like, oh, that's great. I never thought I'd see Optimus Prime and Primal on the screen together fighting robots, CGI robots, which looked great, by the way, and getting overran, but still fighting. I was like, yo, when I saw that, I was like, yo, I just want this little action scene. I want it to go on a little bit longer. I wanted just a little bit. Just a little bit more because everything was good. Nothing from what I will say. I forget her name, but when the bird Maximus died, I was like, yo. I was like, why?
I was bummed because I wanted to see her transform.
That was
gonna be nice, but I was like, I get it. It's to drive the plot.
We got Bumblebee got knocked out for Optimus, so I guess they were like, let's knock out one of his homies too.
Man, but what about when Bumblebee came back?
When he came back with the
Bumblebee said, "Knock you out." Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, and he has. He's been on that planet for a couple of years.
Came out and put paws on everybody. I was like, yo, he came out. I understand why Optimus was crying over him. He put hands.
Man, look.
He came down and was whooping all kind of ass.
Serving up all the 2 pieces with a biscuit on the field.
I was like, Optimus, I get it. I get why you were mad and your homie died because he was your heavy hitter. Because Mirage did some work too. Because I was surprised he was fighting Scourge.
Yeah, he held his ground for a
good minute. I was surprised. I was like, I know what's gonna happen, but I didn't want it.
Hey man,
I wanted Optimus to come in there and 2v1 this dude or something and get him out there.
And shout out to Toby too.
Yeah,
he did a good job in this movie with his part. It wasn't like a big major role, but he did a good job. Just want
Yeah.
to shout out
The
to
crazy
him.
part is like how like the director found him. Like he was didn't because I remember if I remember correctly, the story is he sounded like the director's
I think one of
homie,
his friends, yeah,
and
he
he
was a
was
fan of his
like,
music
he
and he
got to be in the
passed.
movie.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
friend passed, and I think he reached out to him and said, "Hey man, I want you to be a part of this." And it's crazy because Toby was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be gone from my family for a minute." And he's, I can't be away from my wife and kids that long. And they was like, "Oh, no problem, man. Bring them too. We got you." And I was like, "Bruh, that's
that's
a
what's
dope
up.
story." Like when you hear stories like that, that's a director who's really invested in people and he really wants to know. He actually cares. It ain't just, oh yeah, it's an actor. Nah, I want these people to be comfortable so they can give the best performance in this art. So that's a cool story. Like I love to hear it every time like Toby tells it.
I loved it when I heard it too because it was like it was just such a cool story. It was like
Mhm.
it's like the whole thing of like when people talk about you don't know who's like listening, you don't know who's like watching you.
Mhm.
That's one of those stories where you don't know. You could be putting out like, and I always say to people, put out whatever you want to, or like, do whatever you want to do, and if it doesn't seem like it's getting seen by people are watching. People are always
Mhm.
watching. There's a lot
Somebody
of
is.
there's a lot of stories of people that get swept up and they had low viewership on wherever they were doing it, but they get swept up by somebody big and they're now big names because they took a chance at their passion
Mhm.
and they did their craft, what they felt like they were on this planet to do. And it
Hey.
got access to now this dude is in Transformers, one of the best Transformers movie, and I'd say one of the best movies so far this summer.
Yeah, definitely. This summer has been pretty good summer for film. Like it's been some good
Yeah,
movies
as I
that's
call it, the
come out.
summer of the
Yeah.
nerd.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, it's been pretty good. But and Toby was already big as far as like
Oh
music,
yeah,
but
he was for sure.
put him into a whole nother fandom now. So
Exactly.
like
Not saying that to down him or anything
yeah,
like that. I was just trying to make
yeah,
a bigger point.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, oh, no,
of
no,
course
no.
he's
Yeah,
big, and
yeah.
of course people
But
know him.
that
But
just was like, because like
that's just like,
he's like I never acted before, so I was just
but
like
he did a
okay.
good job.
Yeah,
Shoot.
he
He was
did really
hilarious in
good.
the
He
movie.
was funny.
You
Yeah.
had me dying when you said I wasn't trying to run away from you. When he said, I didn't leave you.
Oh, he definitely did. He
He
definitely
left
did.
his ass. That shit was funny.
Left him in the dust, man. But yeah,
But
man. So
I hopefully the GI Joe because I love that they brought that in, and I hopefully Noah does become part of the GI Joes, or at the very least takes it up, and that's how they bring in that kind of franchise into the fold because we could be getting a crossover pretty soon, and because it's Hasbro, right?
yeah, it's
Hasbro
Hasbro. They have all the
owns
rights
they
to like all
own
that.
do they own Power Rangers, or was that just a reference?
I think they
I
did.
want to say they do.
I think
I'm
they
thinking
do
they do.
because they when you go on the
Because they make the
website,
toys.
yeah, they make the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So technically, we could get a three-way crossover. If you
yeah.
really want to, if GI Joe's out there, Transformers, Megazord over here ain't much to Transformers, and
I know, right? But yeah, I was
make it happen. Make it happen. Directors, get on it. I want to see a
hey,
Transformers
like I always say,
v
put it in the universe.
GI Joe v Power Ranger crossover. I'd
Hey
love to see
man,
it.
gotta put it out there in the universe. Somebody
So
out there hears it.
here's the thing: bring Megatron in the fold. Bring what's his name? I know Zed, but I'm thinking of GI Joe. It's
Oh,
Cobra.
Cobra.
Yeah, it's Cobra. Ooh, my camera was unplugged somehow. But yeah, we can continue. I'll fix it. Ooh, it's not good. But yeah, give me the full. Oh no, my back screen is gone. Oh no, you see my room. Just kidding. No, but nah, give me that. Oh no, I'll just blur it. There you go. Oh, I can fill this one up, can I? Yeah, the thing failed on me, so I had to go and bring out
Yeah.
another one. Oh, that camera's not working. Oh, that's what's happening. But no, I need to see a full. Give me the full a full movie. I want it.
Oh yeah.
That
And
I.
I think the way that they're gonna do it too is I think they're gonna set it up to where the next movie is definitely gonna be Transformers, a Transformers movie. But I think they're gonna do probably like a G.I. Joe movie somewhere like in
Mm-hmm.
between and then build it up to where it's like a team up thing or whatever they gotta face. And I think it'll be a pretty good like little franchise thing to do with the two.
I think it
Like
can
I
work.
think it could definitely work because GI Joe fight bigger threats that are bigger than what they should be fighting. Like so that's always been the thing about GI Joe. So
Yeah, I agree. But I think you think they're gonna have the same cast for the sequel. If they do another Transformers movie, you think they're gonna be back in the Noah's actor and
I don't know. I think they probably one-off characters. Like this was probably like they one movie, just like with Haley Steinfeld and
oh yeah, true.
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But like you said with Noah, he could probably be the one that comes back because they asked him to enlist in GI Joe, even if it's like a cameo or you just see him for a brief minute doing that thing. So I could see that happening. I could see them bringing back. I don't know what happened to John Cena character in the first one, but I know he was an older guy, so he'd probably be a little bit older. But I could see like somebody like him coming back as part of the like GI Joe, just little
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. It could happen, but I think if anything, Noah would be the one to
I
come
think
back.
they should. What I think, or what I think they're probably gonna do is they're probably just gonna have it like because being that the first of this thing Transformers was in the '80s and then went to the '90s. They're probably gonna do like another maybe a decade later or something like that, and have him be an
Yeah,
older like him established, him
yeah.
go in and established, and then him be training new people to go out there, like the
Hmm.
people that we know from GI Joe's the actual franchise.
Yeah,
He'll just be like the commander or whatever like that, and that'll be his role. Or maybe he'll be someone that started, with a big member and started and like retired or something like that, like cameo, like you said.
mhm.
Because for them to set that up or them to tease that and have him be the character, I don't think they're just not gonna do something with his character in that regard. Maybe it's his brother. Maybe his brother will be the person in the GI Joe team that like his all his medical bills are handled, stuff like that. Maybe he'll follow in his brother's footstep or whatever. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll do that, or maybe not. You
yeah. Maybe
know,
it'll be a whole dude.
if it's a different director, it's probably gonna be something different, and it might ruin it. But
Yeah. No, I don't think they will
hopefully,
ruin
don't
it.
ruin
Yeah,
it. I like it so far.
yeah. I think it'll go pretty smooth from here because they
We just
already
got
set up. They set up the world. We know who the villain is. We know that on Earth is the Autobots and the Primals. So they got it set up to where like it's this world you're already in and you know what's what and it's leading to ABC. So I think they got it going to a good place. Now I
it
just
just
hope they don't get too caught up in the whole like franchise thing and GI Joe Transformers thing. I hope they still keep to it that it's a story that that's what I hope. So
yeah, I agree too. I hope
uh,
that what they do is they don't do as I'll say it like this. They do the Marvel approach, not the DC approach.
yeah,
They put out a GI Joe property in between the Transformers one to establish
exactly.
that one, and then maybe one or two to catch up with Transformers, so we don't get a Transformers movie in for a couple of years. We get two GI Joe movies
Mm,
back to back, or maybe a year or two in between, and then you bring your Batman v Superman to, for lack of better reference,
mm,
and just to get that in, and or maybe you just do a Transformers GI Joe versus something else, where you have them team up together to fight because that's what they're going to be in the movie anyway. Or that's what he was wanting to do in the end of this Transformer movie anyway, is to team up with him. So
yeah,
make it a team up. Years later down the road, when Optimus is more seasoned and he's out here just doing his thing,
yeah,
got a whole squad with him, and then get the GI Joe squad up, and then they do a joint thing against Cobra and the Decepticons or Predacons or whatever decides to team up or whatever like that, and or make the big villain. No, they're not gonna make the big villain Unicron because Cobra's not gonna really. I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to I'm trying to think of the plot right now while I talk about it. I'm trying to think, okay, how can we make it work? But they'll figure it out. But they need a big enough villain to where both of them have to team up together to fight it, or it seems that they need the Transformers' help because
I
that's what
like
you really got to do.
like I said, I think it'll be them bringing back the Decepticons because in the Bumblebee movie it was the Decepticons. So this movie, the Decepticons weren't in it and weren't a part of it. So they probably would bring them back because that's the main like villains for the Autobots in the show. That's who they always fought. So that would be like the ones to bring back to be like that. Okay, this is good versus evil
This is
because
the
even with the
establishment right here.
yeah, with the primals and the what was it, Predacons? That's what
Predacons, yeah.
yeah, it's like it's like they we know they bad, but it's like they really said you could be either or with that kind of thing. It's I think they would bring back the Decepticons, and I think how they would do it is if they were to use GI Joe like in the Transformer movie just to set up and establish what their part in it is in the fight, it would be probably like that because it'll probably play off of how Michael Bay did it, where it was like the U.S. Army, was helping them
Oh
fight and stuff like
yeah.
that. So it'll probably be something set up like that, where it's like, hey, we got to help them fight so and so and call them in and all that. But it'll just be like they'll have better tech because
The GI
they
like
already
making
are
it.
aware of the situation. Like in Michael Bay's films, the U.S. government wasn't aware of they knew that it was stuff that came to Earth that was out of the ordinary, but they didn't know the threat of what
Yeah.
the Transformers were. Like everybody who was fighting, it was all like, "Oh, where did this come from? And how did we not know about this?" Like nobody knew what was going on. As so, where with the GI Joe in this movie, they know and they are aware, so they're prepared for whatever else is coming. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
be, not to say it's a fair fight, but it won't be you just going blind into a battle. You know what I'm saying? You prepared for what's coming. So I
Exactly.
think it'll have more weight to it than it did with the soldiers in the Michael Bay film. So I think that's how they would set it up. That
Yeah.
way it'll flow a little better, and you won't just be like, oh, well, they're just an army. What can they do? But it'll be like, nah, it's the GI Joe. It's what we do. So yeah.
What they'll probably do is they'll add on what you're saying. They'll probably have the regular standard army, and then
Mm-hmm.
realize that the regular standard army can't do nothing to the
Yeah.
Decepticons. And so they'll be like, it'll be some kind of reference. Somebody pick up a phone and say, get Joe on a line or some whatever thing they're gonna say
Yeah.
to tease that. And then you're gonna get like this cool intro scene of everybody coming in just laying waste to one Decepticon, like not an important Decepticon, like one of the throwaway characters, whatever like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna be like, okay, where's Optimus? We've been working with Optimus or something like that. But it could work, and I think it would work a lot in this verse more versus the Bayverse. The
Yeah.
Bayverse, I don't think GI Joes would have worked that well
Nah, it wouldn't
because they
have.
didn't really set up any kind of unit in the. I think it was like at least 5 movies.
Yeah.
They didn't set up anything for the human side of them getting better with tech and stuff like. I guess they did a little bit, and I think was it last night?
All I know is I knew it was getting out of hand when they had like car dealerships and corporations being behind evil robots, funding evil robots to do it. I was like, yo,
You were like, yo, I'm done.
that's a story for another day. But
Nah, we could dive into your
not
soapbox.
because them some memories I don't want to unlock. I put all them to the back burner of my brain.
Galvatron. He's
Nah,
made out of nanotech.
that was terrible.
We
But
got 3-headed dragons and Merlin.
yeah, that was terrible. But like I said,
Dinobots, but like not really.
yeah, but like we say, this is a
Dang,
new
I'm
leaf.
trying to tease. I'm trying to tease it so bad it is not
Yeah.
working.
Nah,
All our
for I ain't
at
talking
home,
about that bullshit.
I'm putting out feelers and he's not having it. I'm not
Hell
going
no.
into
I
it.
got a good fresh new look on Transformers. I ain't finna mess that up. Thank you,
Okay,
Michael
dang.
Bay, for giving us the idea of what Transformers could be. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Thank you for that part. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Darn,
Nothing else.
I was trying to get that moment from you.
Nah,
I was
He don't
trying.
get that out of me. He don't get that out of me.
Oh man.
Get that out
Okay.
of me.
I'm not gonna talk about the rampant problem with the Bayverse tonight
Yeah.
because I feel
He in
like
the
Marcus is gonna give me an entire speech
yeah.
about it.
He in the same boat as JJ Abrams. Like, I don't care to waste my time arguing about what they can't do.
You don't like those lens flares?
Oh, I hate lens flares. I hate that shit, man. Gosh. So
You don't like those
stupid.
explosions, bro?
No. Unnecessary explosions and shit. No.
Hey man, one of your favorite TV series growing up as a kid used unnecessary explosions, but you didn't have any problem with that.
That's because it was a show that made absolutely no sense, man. A show for kids. Like, we love explosions and stuff.
Yeah, I
They get us
know.
excited. As a grown ass man or a teenager, I can only take so many explosions before I lose interest in what that's cool and all, but I guess.
Tip
But
for the people at home.
see,
Marcus loves his writing more than anything else.
yes, I do.
And I'm on the same page with him, but he won't even watch a movie the writing's bad. He'll turn it off like five
Oh,
minutes
I'll
in.
watch it. I'll watch it because you got to watch bad movies just like you got to watch good ones. I'll watch it, but I
Hey
won't like
man,
it. Trust
there's
me.
certain movies that look.
Trust
Listen,
me, I'm telling you this because I've had to watch bad movies. So some bad movies I've watched, I can put up with movies, but it's just some movies, like you said, you just can't get
Ooh.
through them. You try to
Okay.
get through it and you can't.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, give me 2 bad movies you had to watch.
Two bad movies I had to
Yeah,
watch.
I want to see the definition of a bad movie for you. Like
Honestly,
I want to
bro,
see what.
I
Yeah.
don't remember them. I just know I had to watch some one time. I can't even
Dang,
remember
like
them.
that.
Yeah, I can't even remember 'em. I could tell you the most recent one I watched
Okay.
was Uncharted. I didn't get
Hey,
through
you
30
better than me
minutes of
because I
that.
saw it. I said that's a guarantee. That's a dedicated. That's a was it a certified
Hey man,
no?
it was on Netflix. It was a slow day at work. I was at my desk and I was trying to kill time, but it wasn't even worth it.
No, listen. As an Uncharted fan, I wasn't wasting my time with it. I saw the trailer and that was enough for me. I was like, I'm not watching that. I don't care
Yeah,
how
so
Tom Holland acted in that movie.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man. So we ain't even gonna get on all that. That's like I always say, that's a story for another day.
Okay, how about
You
this?
know,
Favorite?
let's give my boy Stephen Cable Jr. his let's
Yeah.
give him his
We're
shine.
gonna
You know,
we're not gonna dredge in the
yeah,
negative stuff. What I'm
it's
gonna ask
about
you
it's
is
about him.
your favorite. What do I want to say? Your favorite Transformer, Autobot, Decepticon, Predacon, any of them? Like, what are your two?
Favorite
Let's say, what are your 2 favorites, or at least give
Bumble
me 2 favorites.
Bumblebee always gonna be my boy. I like
Okay.
Bumblebee and the Michael Bay ones. So
Uh,
Bumblebee is always my boy.
you can do. I should have made this thing. You can say ones that are in the TV shows too. I should have given you
TV
that
shows,
space, but you can say movies and TV shows, or you can just say whatever.
yeah.
But it doesn't have to be in a specific thing.
I'll go Bumblebee. And as far as I like Soundwave.
Soundwaves,
I
dude.
just like
Yeah,
how his voice sound in the cartoon in the animated
yeah,
series. I like Soundwave.
yeah.
Soundwave
Soundwave is
is cool.
dope.
And I liked how the cassette tape popped out and it was like
That's
a
why I
little,
loved it. Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. So I like Soundwave,
He had his
Bumblebee.
little animal thing that would come out like a
Yeah,
little.
always. I didn't like the other the version of Soundwave that was like in
Because it's two
the first
different.
Yeah,
There's a
it's two different
Soundwave
versions.
and then there's another one that I forget his
Yeah,
name, but
yeah, but I didn't like
they're
those.
similar, but they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Get
So
that
when
guy.
I saw Bumblebee and I saw Soundwave when they was on Cybertron, he popped out. I was like, yeah, that's the Soundwave I
10-year
know.
old me was like, yes.
Yes, yeah, Soundwave and Bumblebee, and then Cheetor. I think,
Okay.
yeah, Cheetor. Yeah, that's what they called him. If I'm wrong,
For
y'all correct me.
sure. Any villains in? Oh, you did Soundwave. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
Soundwave.
I was about to say any other villains you want to put in there just to
Uh,
balance it out.
I'm really not a. I don't like Starscream that much. He's annoying.
Yeah, he's.
Megatron is cool, but I don't really.
You don't really mess with him like that.
Yeah, I
Ah,
I don't know. Probably, I wouldn't say Megatron like in the Transform. It'll probably be Megatron and Beast Wars. I like that version of Megatron.
yeah, I was going to mention that one when
Yeah,
it's my turn. I was going to mention that one
I like
because
that version of Megatron.
he's. Yeah, I do too. Funny thing is, they named the Optimus Primal, but they just called him Megatron because people know who this guy
Yeah,
is.
it's Megatron.
They
You
were
ain't
like,
finna
these
call
people,
Megatron is Megatron. He evil no
right?
matter what version of him it
Exactly.
is.
They're like, what'd you name him? Oh, we named him Megatron Primal. No, we just named him Megatron because
Yeah,
Megatron's just that dude. But for me, it'd be Optimus Primal for sure. I fucked with him
yeah,
heavy, especially in the movie. Like when I saw him in the movie, I was like, I was there. I was a kid. I was a kid again,
yeah.
ready for it. Scourge for sure. Like
Mhm.
he put in work this movie, like for sure. That was one.
Oh yeah,
Megatron from Beast Wars
Beast
for
Wars.
sure. And then one more, I'm gonna go with because it's a tie between Bumblebee and Mirage for me. Because I like Bumblebee because the Bayverse, and this verse they did a good job. But
Hmm.
more specifically, this new universe.
Yeah,
But Mirage, he impressed me a lot. I actually liked him a lot more as we got to know his character.
yeah,
But other than that, like a lot of the other ones were cool, but those ones were the standout ones across the. Dang, I want to give Optimus a spot because Optimus could lead anybody in the battle. That's his go-to thing. Like
Optimus can give a great speech.
okay, let me give you
He can give you a great speech to get ready to whoop some ass.
I'll say it like this. Which one would you ride in a battle with more after them giving a speech? Captain America or Optimus Prime? And I already got
Optimus Prime, no doubt.
I
Well,
was
when I was
throwing it out.
watching the movie, I'll be like, yeah, I'll go fight too, even though I know I'll get creamed in like the first 2
Right?
minutes.
I'm like, yo,
Uh,
who we out here? Who we gotta fight? Who we gotta get done? But no,
yeah,
because I mentioned Captain America because like a lot of people, I think they say I forget, like I've seen a lot of people say that like Captain America, he's like a good leader and he's someone that like people will ride out for. And Optimus Prime is, from my opinion, probably one of the best motivational speakers out there.
man,
Um,
yeah.
he, he'll have you go out there knowing you about to die, and
Hey,
he'll
look, I know I'm finna die, but because Optimus told me that we can get up and we can stand strong as one, I'm finna go in the battle and be ready to die. Even for Optimus Prime,
right.
he make you believe even if you don't believe. You know what I'm saying?
Because Optimus out there, he'll go out on the battlefield and actually be throwing all kind of hands, and you'll see him struggling, but he's still just putting in that work. I got to
Mhm.
see the. Surprisingly, I have to see the struggle a little bit to know. Okay, I'm not that bad off. You know what? Like I might be getting my butt whooped. Optimus is struggling a little bit. Like that makes me like, okay, these ain't just like average people that I'm fighting against. But yeah, motivational wise, and even in the Bayverse, he did really good job of speaking, like doing his
Mhm.
like his speeches and stuff like that, which they did a good job of bringing that to this movie. I know we've talked about that a billion times, but like they did a really good job of making us care about every character.
Yeah.
And so I like at the end of the day, I can't say nothing more but praise this movie for what it did.
It was
And
a good, clean, simple, to the point, beginning, middle, end. Wasn't too many plot holes. Everything was there for you to figure out. It's just a straight to the point movie, and that's what we needed. Like I was joking with Chad, you definitely could tell a brother directed this because we got straight to the point, wasn't all them loopholes and fumbling around with stuff, and got it gave it to you. You figured it out, and this is what we got, and boom, you get it all in one viewing. If you thought worked your brain too much and all that, it was very simple. Go.
and it was a movie that you could legitimately turn your brain off, but if you turn your brain off and you still understood what was going on. I turned my brain off and was gonna just enjoy the movie, and I was sitting there, oh, this is really good. Like I'm still like
Mm-hmm.
enjoying it and still understanding everything, even though I'm not really thinking about it. It was very easy to sit there and understand plot A, B, C, and then to the conclusion.
Yep.
And there was some points that I was like, yo, give me 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Tell me 10 more minutes to the end of this movie because I'm not ready for this thing to end because it was just like one good point to another good point to another thing that I didn't think I'd see. You know, it was really good. And I love that they use a lot of like the natives as like the people that were like, the first people to be,
Yeah. To
the
come in
part of the
contact.
community
Yeah.
and
With them.
stuff like that. I think that was cool. And I thought it was really cool that they put like a lot of stuff in some of the ruins and stuff like that. Like they
Mm-hmm.
interwove that it together.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man. Standing, they had a lot of stuff standing for the culture, representing,
hmm
different,
Like
communities and backgrounds and stuff. It was definitely represented a little bit in there. So
it was really good. I think there's nothing that I really can say negatively about it.
yeah, it wasn't too much that I was like, oh,
Like
I
I'm
just
not even nitpicky.
ah,
I can't even nitpicky right now. Like usually I can
yeah.
pull like a little nitpick, but
Yeah, I can't find too much that was too bad with it. It might have been like some moments where it probably just slowed down a little bit, but that happens.
and it
That's like
wasn't
every story.
noticeably slow, if
Yeah.
anything. There weren't any noticeably slow moments where you're just like, okay, I'm ready for the action. It was like it
Mhm.
was paced well.
Yeah, it was a pretty good
Um,
pace, man. I gave it that just what we go. I'm not even gonna say it without well. What would you give it? What did you score it after you had seen it the first time? And now that it's settled in, is it still the same or have you
so
changed?
yeah, I'll answer your question. So when I first saw it, I gave it. I want to say I gave it a 9 because there wasn't anything I could
Mm,
vehemently be like this, and I still stay by that rating of a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9, and I don't give a lot of things 9, but
yeah,
that was a 9 out of 10.
yeah,
You know, it was a movie that at the end of the movie, and even now, I want another property like tomorrow. Like that
yeah,
shows how good of a property it is versus the Flash movie, because we recently reviewed that movie. You can check that out in the description down below in the little areas in our catalog. But that movie, I am glad I gave it a baseline 7, because it is staying there. Because now it's been a couple days, and I'm thinking more of the Transformers movie in Across the Spider-Verse than that movie, and I saw that movie a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That just shows how good of a movie it is. That movie is staying in a 9 frame. And by the way, we'll let you know how we felt about Across the Spider-Verse the next time we
Oh
come
yeah, that's
here.
coming soon.
That's coming soon, very soon.
Yeah.
To a podcast near you.
Yes.
But yeah, I give it a 9, and I continue to keep it a 9. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you're gonna give it a 9. I'll be surprised if you do, because you rate 8.5 usually.
I think I'll still keep it at my 8.5.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'll
That's
keep it
cool.
at
I think
8.5.
that's high. That's a high mark, because you give a lot of things 7s.
It was still in the range of an 8 to 8.5, but I'll be fair and give it an 8.5.
Okay, so there's just a little bit of work that needed to be done for it to get a 9.
There's just a few normal, simple little things that you just see.
Yeah,
it's a good film.
it is a really
it was really good.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever given a movie a 10 out of 10, but I've given a couple. And this is probably my second. Yeah, this is my second 9 I've ever given any of the movies we reviewed. I usually go around 7, because a lot of movies.
I can give you a 10 out of 10 movie.
Oh, I already know you can.
And it won the Oscar for Best Picture.
I know you can.
And that was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, definitely. That's
and whoever want to argue with me, let's do it.
Let's
do it. That's a 10 out of 10
That's
movie
done.
right
10
there.
out of 10.
I don't care
That's
what
done.
nobody say.
That's
Y'all
done.
can talk about the Titanic and The Color Purple or whatever movie that won an Oscar. That's a 10 out of 10. But that's besides the point. I just had to put that out there because
I'm about to say, but the Titanic.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to revisit the Titanic and see if it's still.
I ain't revisiting no Titanic. You see what happened? No, sir.
No,
sir.
No. I meant the movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
Yeah, I know. The Titanic. I know where it is. I'm cool with it being there. If I want to see the Titanic in its glorious fashion, I can watch the 3-hour movie that came out in the 90s. Yeah. But no, Everything Everywhere All at Once was for a 10 out of 10 movie, because it did. And this is my last point, because I don't want to get another podcast, because I can do it off of this. But it did it took the multiverse concept and made it work better than what we've been dealing with multiversal wise and other properties. And it was a very understandable story. It wasn't too crazy out that it was you could understand it, and it was acted very well. Everybody deserved the Oscar that they've got. Grammys, Oscars. I don't know the rating.
And Michelle Yeoh.
Yes.
Wu, I don't know if I always say it wrong. I think it's Wu or Wo. However you say, I always say it wrong, I think. But she was also in this movie. She voiced I forgot what they called the Falcon, the bird. I forgot what she was.
Yeah,
but she was in the movie, so it connects. So in a way, it connects because she was in that movie too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
at the end of the day,
I give it a solid 8.5.
And I'm gonna give it a 9, and I'm gonna stick by my 9. So if anybody want to come at me down in the comments about it, say it's an 8.5. I'm just to me, it's a 9.
Yeah, unless we all are entitled to our opinions.
You could.
That's what we do this for.
And the crazy part about it, you could go down in the comment section down below and say it was a 1.5, and I'll say, hey, I respect your opinion.
Why. Just tell me why.
Yeah, tell me why, and see if we can have a conversation about it.
Because I'm not gonna bash your rating. I just want to know why. Because it could be something in there that I forgot about, and then it could be like, well, you know what? I agree about that. So
and the rating goes down about a point or two, because it's not going to go all the way down from an 8.5 to a 1. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You can sell the best argument down in the comment. Your point down there, and I'll agree to disagree at the end of the day. But I want to hear it. I want to hear what made you give a movie the rating that you did. Hit those comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know your favorite Transformers.
Yeah,
Autobots, Decepticons, Predacons, Maxima.
If you're hyped about Joe coming into the universe,
we got some big G.I. Joe fans here. Did you like the originals that they put out with Tatum and The Rock was in one, and then one of the Wayans brothers was in one?
Yeah, Marlon was in one.
Yeah.
Just let us know what you think.
Let us. Go ahead.
If you haven't seen this movie, you shouldn't be watching this video.
hit the
But
pause button
hit the
right
pause.
now.
Yeah, if you
I'm sorry we
haven't,
spoiled the movie for you
yeah,
since you made it to this point right
should
now.
have put that
We
at the
spoiled.
beginning for a disclaimer. But either way, if you haven't watched it, you shouldn't even be watching this. But
Yeah.
if you haven't, go see it. It's still in theaters right now. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Watch Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime will take on Unicron and
Scourge
the Scourge, and
and
you
his
know
band of
what
Paracons.
Paracons, and watch it. Just go in for a good fun movie. That's what it is. Check that out, man. Make sure you
And
go
also
check it
check
out.
out the dope soundtrack too.
Yes, great soundtracks, man. Go see. If you haven't gone to see it, or if you've seen it, see it again. Stephen Cable Jr.'s Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Demetrius, I'm gonna let you take us out.
All right. If you want to view this video, you can view the video 4 different ways. You can view it on Rap Nerd on Tuesdays. You can also view this video on YouTube. Search in the Square Roundtable Pod and look for the title that has Rise of Beast in it. And hit the subscribe button so that you get more of our videos. Hit the notification bell underneath the right side of the video so that you get notified of this video and the future videos. Leave us a comment about anything that you saw or that you heard in this video that you want to comment on, or if you want to leave us a beautiful comment about how lovely the video was, you can do that too. Also, share the video. That helps out a lot.
Yes.
And you can also view this video on fandomlim.com.
Yes.
Roundtablepod.fandomlim.com.
There you go. Yep.
There you go. And
Follow
follow us on. Oh, there you go. Follow us
There you go.
on Instagram, Twitter, that pesky Facebook group
That y'all
that
never, y'all don't talk
nobody
to
ever
us.
comes to. Nobody goes in
We
there. It's
don't bite
okay.
y'all.
And eventually TikTok.
TikTok, yes. Still trying to figure that
We're
out.
still trying to figure out the works of that. And
Yes.
this has been the Square Roundtable Pod, and we are out.
And also, before we go, make sure you tune in to check out our most recent podcast with the great and legendary voice actor and puppeteer Noel McNeil. That's out right now on everything that Dmitri just told you to check out. So go check that out. Let us know what you think if you're a fan of Bear in the Big Blue House, Between the Lines, Sesame Street. He's done all of it. So he's been a part of our childhood. So, leave some comments, share it. Just let us know. And that'll be there for y'all to check out. Like Demetrius said, this is the Square Roundtable.
And roll out.